Good morning to all the students. And yesterday we have started the programming part on the singly linked list. So we know how to create a node and how to add data into the node and how to make modifications into the address part of the node. All these things we have discussed, right? So we will continue with the same topic in today's session also, and we try to complete this program. It's a very simple program, but you need to understand the logic. Once you get the logic for writing this program, then you can implement two more programs. That is, you can implement the stacks using linked list. Similarly, you can implement the queues using linked list. So after explaining the coding part of this particular program, the singly linked list program, I will tell you the logic for implementing the stacks using linked list. Then you have to tell me the logic for implementing queues using queue implementation using linked list, right? So this is how we have planned for today's session. So let us start our discussion. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So the first part of creating a node, we have discussed this one. 1 minute. So this part we have completed, right? So in order to create a node in a linked list program, whether it can be a singly linked list or circularly singly linked list or doubly linked list or circularly doubly linked list, we will make use of a concept called as structures. The reason why we are making use of these structures is every node that is present inside the singly linked list or linked list, it should have a pointer, or it should point to the next node or the previous node or the node which is present in the top position. Like that, any node should point to the other node, right? That is the reason why we have to have one part of the node as the address part of the same structure. So this type of concept is only supported by the self-referential structures. So that is the reason why we are going for this structure concept. And another point is, as you know, by the definition of structures, it is a combination of different data types, right? Here I can have the float data type, and you can see here, right? Here it is an integer data type, and here it is a pointer of struct node. So whenever you want to combine different data elements, then it is not better that you should go for the concept of structures. You can also go for the concept of union, but we have the disadvantage with the unions, right? You can only store one data element at a time. You cannot store multiple data elements at a time using unions. So this is the particular reason why we move towards this structure. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And coming to the next part, that is traversing a linked list. This particular traversing a linked list we will discuss in the last. And as I told, that the insertion operation and the deletion operation are the two major operations that we should consider for the linked list. And the insertion operation, as I told, that it has been divided into three parts. You can insert a new node as the starting node, or you can insert the new node as the last node, or you can insert the new node at a position that is specified by the user. In the similar manner, you can also perform the deletion operation, where you can delete an element from the first of the linked list, and you can delete the element or node from the last of the linked list, and similarly you can delete the node at a particular position also. So the insertion and deletion operations, the basic operations of the singly linked list, are categorized into three categories, as I have told just now, right? So other than this, we have different operations like traversal, and search operation is also there. And you may be asked to count the number of nodes inside the linked list. In such type of operations, you have to go for the traversal. we'll see how we are going to implement this traversal. But once you come to know the programming part of inserting a node at the start, inserting a node at the end, traversal becomes very easy. That is the reason why I am asking you that we will discuss this traversal operation at the end of our topic, right? So the first part which I am going to discuss is inserting a node at the start, right? So whenever, before this, I told you in the yesterday's class also that before you are going to create a linked list, you have to create a temporary variable. Is it a temporary variable? You have to create which pointer?
Head pointer, sir.
You have to create a head pointer or root pointer or whatever it may be, right? So the purpose of creating the head pointer is you always make the head pointer to point to the first node. Any operation that is performed on the single linked list or linked list will start with the first node. So you should have a pointer pointing to the first node. For this purpose I am creating this head node, right? So how do you create a head node? It is nothing but a pointer to the struct node. Therefore you have to write like this: struct node star head. And as I told that you are creating a pointer, and it is very important that the pointer should not be left like that. The pointer should be initialized. It is mandatory that you should initialize the pointers, right? So since there is no address, I will initialize this head to null. So when you execute this statement, that means when the compiler comes and executes this statement, it will create a head pointer and initialize it to null. This is called as head. And at this particular point, we say that we have created an empty singly linked list. We will say that we have created an empty singly linked list. That means no nodes are there. As I told in the earlier class also, you should not consider the head pointer as a node of the linked list. This is just to point to the starting node. Nodes are something different. Node always consists of two parts in the singly linked list. So this is not considered as the head node in the singly linked list. This is one of the important point you should remember. Right. So for inserting a node at the starting point, I will create a node like this, a new node, by using the statement struct node star new node. That means I am going to create a pointer to the struct node, and the name of my pointer is new node. And now in the second step, I will allocate memory for this new node by making use of the dynamic memory allocation function, which is malloc. We know the syntax of this malloc. All these things we know, right? No need to explain. So malloc is a function which allocates the required amount of memory, and in turn it returns, when it successfully allocates the memory, it returns the base address of the allocated memory. So for this I am making use of a size of operator. This is struct node. I should tell the malloc function how much memory I should allocate. That is done by making use of this size of operator, and whatever parameter you pass inside this size of operator, that much amount of memory will be allocated. So 8 bytes of memory will be allocated here, and the base address is returned and it is stored inside the new node, right? So this is my new node. Assume that the base address is 20 and this is 50, and now I have allocated a new node. Assume that the base address is 100, right? And whatever memory that is allocated for this new node, the base address is returned and it is stored inside this location. So this is how the pointer is pointing to the newly created node. Now as I know that the structure that I have defined for this singly linked list consists of two parts. The first part is the data part, where I can access it by using the pointer variable, which is nothing but the new node, and the arrow operator and the name of the data member, right? So this is how I access the data part here. and if I want to access the address part or the next part of this new node, I have to specify it as new node arrow next. So I will be pointing to this location, this one, right? So this is how we need to access it. And after creating the new node, that means after allocating the memory for the new node, you have to, what you have to do, you have to add the data part for that new node. As I told that you have to access the data part using this notation, that is new node, which is a pointer to the struct node, and the arrow operator followed by the data member, right, is equal to 4. So this part will be accessed and it is assigned a value of 4. Right. So now, since this is the first node, what you have to do is you can directly place it as new node of next is equal to null. Therefore this will be placed as null. Now what I should do after creating the first node, I have to make this first node such that the base address of the first node is stored inside the head. So for that I am making use of this notation, head is equal to new node. Therefore this null value will be overwritten and it stores the value that is present inside the new node, which is 100. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
when I
sir.
make this attempt, that means when I store this new node value inside the head, now what happens here is I am pointing this head to this first node, right? That means the new node as well as the head is also pointing to this location, right? So you have to make some modifications in this code, don't write it exactly, but I just want to make you understand the logic, right? So when it is the first node, you have to change the address part to null, but when it is not the first node, then you can make this you can write these statements directly, right? Is it clear up to this point? I am ready with my first node. Now tell me how many nodes are there with my singly linked list?
One node. One, sir.
Only one node. Don't consider the head as the node of the singly linked list. This is what I am going to stress. Right. Now if I want to go and repeat this statement, again I will call the function. All these statements should be written as a module. That means all these statements you should write it as a function. So once you write it as a function, whenever you call this function, that means whenever you want to insert it at the starting of the singly linked list, you just make a function call for this function definition. That's it. Right. So again assume that again I will create another node. Let us see it. Right. So the same sequence of steps will be followed. Struct node star new node. This is how I create a pointer to the struct node. Right. So I have this one, right, and this time assume that so new node is created here, and what happened here, new node is equal to malloc of size of struct node. So it is going to allocate 8 bytes of memory, and the starting address, let us assume it as 200 is stored inside the new node, right. So this is how it is going to point here. Now new node of data, let us put it as 8, right. This time what I have to do, I want to insert the newly created node as the first node. How can I identify the first node?
Head pointer.
By using head. So these two statements, the sequence of these statements should not be missed, should not be interchanged. That means this should be the first statement and this should be the second statement. For example, if I interchange these statements, that means I write the second statement as the first statement and first statement as the second statement. What happens? Head is equal to new node. So whatever head value is there, the new node value is 200. Therefore it will overwrite this 100 with 200. Thereby what I am doing, I am making this pointer, the head pointer, to point to this location. At this point what happened? I cannot access this particular node, it is becoming idle or it is becoming orphan, right? So I cannot identify this node. So for that purpose, what I have to do is, initially I have to make the new node next part to point to this first node, right? So where is the address of this first node? It is present inside the head. So how can I access the next part of this new node? By using this statement, that is new node arrow next is equal to head. So what is the value that is stored inside this head?
100, sir.
100. Therefore 100 will be stored here. So whenever I store 100 here in the next part of the new node, I assume, or what happens here is, there is a pointer from this node, the newly created node, to the first node of the previous linked list, right? Now I have these many links for the first node. Now what I will do is, simply I will change the value of head to the new node. Why? Because I want to point this node as the first node. Whenever I want to make it as the first node, the simple thing you have to remember is, you have to change the head pointer value. You have to make the head pointer to point to the node, then it becomes the first node. So I know that the address of the first new node is present inside this NN, it is 200, right? Now I make a statement like head is equal to new node, so it becomes head is equal to 200, right? So this link will be broken, and what happens here is, a new link from head to this new node, which is created at the location 200, will be created. So now you can understand the logic here, right? Now you can see what is the first node here. Let us remove these unwanted things. What is the first node?
200.
A node which is created at the 200. What is the next node?
100 position.
A node which is created at 100. So this is how you can insert a new node at the starting position of the linked list. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So the same thing we can understand for this. So if you want to add one more node as the starting node of the linked list, you simply execute or simply call this function such that all these statements will be executed in a sequence, and then a new node assume at the location 300 is created with the data part as 12, and this is how the linked list looks like when I insert the third node. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So yesterday also we have discussed this thing, but I just want to repeat it. So once we are clear about this insertion of a new node as the starting node of the linked list, we will go to the other part. Right. So we will continue with this linked list. Now tell me, how many nodes are there in my linked list?
3, sir.
2, sir.
3. Right. The first one is at the location 300, and the second one is at the location 200, and the third one is at location 100. Now let us redraw the diagram so that I can explain it clearly. Tell me, what is the head part?
300.
300, sir.
300. How many nodes are there?
3, sir.
3. This is the last node. This is 4, 8 and 12. This is 300. The address of this node is 200, and the address of this node is 100. Right. Now we are trying to insert a node at the end. This is very important. Right. See, the insertion at the starting point and the insertion at the end are most important points, or most important functions you should remember in the linked list. Why? I will tell you the reason, right? Insertion at the required position is important, but it may or may not be used in the stack programs, but the insertion at the starting point and the insertion at the end, similarly the deletion at the starting point and deletion of a node from the end of the linked list is a must and should function that you should learn to implement the stacks and queues, right? So by this time you might have understood why I am saying that stack implementation of linked list uses this insertion and deletion at start and end respectively, right? So I will tell you all these things, don't worry, right? So we will tell you this, we will discuss the concept of inserting a node at the end. So whenever I want to insert a node at the end, what should I do? I should have a pointer to this last node. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
So insertion of a node is always the few steps, the first few steps are common for any insertion, right? You create a new node pointer and you allocate the memory for the struct node, and then you add the data part, and then you change the next part of that new node. Up to this point everything is common, but after that how you are going to process or how you are going to link the new node to the already existing linked list at the end of the linked list is important, right? Very easy part, very easy, right? So the point here what I want to tell you is, whenever I create a node and whenever I insert the data and update the address part of the new node, now my task is to link the already existing linked list with the new node, right? So I should have a pointer pointing to the last node, then only I can change this part, right? Let us see with the programming. So struct node, new node, okay, I have created a new node. This is my new node. Assume that it is at some 70 location, and I am creating this node. I am allocating the memory for this node. Assume that the base address is 400. So the 400 is stored inside this new node. That means I am making a pointer like this, right? Now let us assume that this is not 4, it is 6, 4, 8, 12, 16, right? 16. So new node of data I have written it as 16, and the new node next part is kept as the null part. Why? Because I want to place the new node as the last node. So what should be the address part of the last node?
Null,
sir.
Null. That is the reason why I am just updating the next part of the new node with the null. Up to this point you are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Now what I
Yes,
should do
sir.
is
Yes.
I have to make a pointer to point to the last node of the singly linked list. What is the last node of the singly linked list? It is the node which is located at 100, base address 100, right? Now I should have a pointer to this location, and as I told that any operation you want to perform on the singly linked list, it should be starting with the head node only, right? And another important point you should remember is, you never change the value of the head pointer, never ever change the value of the head pointer. So whenever you want to make a pointer to a particular desired node, for example, I can have a pointer to this node, I can have a pointer to this node, or I can have a pointer to the last node. So whenever you want to make a pointer to any node inside the linked list, you have to create a temporary pointer, and you can make changes to the temporary pointer only. You cannot change the head pointer. That is the very important point you should remember for the concept of this linked list, right? So for this purpose I have created a temporary pointer by making use of this statement, that is struct node start temp, and so assume like this, right? So this is temp, and assume that it is created at location 80. It is located at location 80, right? Now what is the value of this temp?
Head, sir.
Head, sir.
Yes.
300, sir.
Why? As I told that the pointer should not be left without initialization. So you can observe here, whenever I create a new node, I am initializing it here with the base address of the newly created node. And whenever I create a pointer to the structure here, Here what I am doing, I am assigning the value of head to temp. So what is the value of head?
300.
300.
So I make the value that is present inside temp is 300. So again when I store like this, again this temp is also pointing to the first node. So head is pointing to the first node, similarly the temp is also pointing to the first node, right. So now what I have to do is, how can you identify the last node?
Address
When
null,
temp
next
equal to
value
null, sir.
No, when the next part of any node is null, that is identified as the last node. So I should check the address part of each and every node. I should check the address part of this first node. If it is not equal to null, what I should do? I should move to the second node. Again I will check the address part of the second node. If it is not equal to null, again I will move to the next node. So when I the first thing you have to do is, you have to check the address part of each and every node. When it is not equal to null, you should move to the other node. When it is not equal to null, you should move to the other node. So this process of repetition, is it not repetition or not?
Yes, sir.
Every time you have to check the value of the next, and if it is not equal, you go to the next part. These two steps has to be repeated. Therefore you can understand from this point that you have to make use of a looping construct. Whether you use do while or for, it is your choice, right. So you have to check each and every node until the condition should be broken whenever you have a condition where that next part of a node is equal to null. Here you have to stop, right. So let us see the logic what he has written. I know that I should use a looping construct, and I should check for a condition that the next part of each and every node is not equal to null. In that case I have to move to the next part, right. See here what is the logic he has written, what the other has written. While temp next not equal to null. What is temp next here? What is temp pointing to?
First node, sir.
heads.
Right, first node, right. That means the node which is present at the location 300. What is temp next?
200, sir.
200, sir.
200. Now check this condition, temp next not equal to null. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
Temp next is 200 and it is not equal to null. This condition becomes true. Therefore it will execute the body of the while loop. In the body of the while loop, what I have written is a simple statement, temp is equal to temp next. So what happened? Temp is equal to temp next means, what is the value of temp next? It is 200. Therefore 200 is stored inside this temp, right. What happens here? The 300 value that is present inside the temp is overwritten with 200. Now what happens when I write this temp as 200? Now my temp is pointing to this node, right. Since this is a while loop, what happens here? It will again go and execute the condition, or it will check the condition. Now temp next, what is the value of temp next here?
100, sir.
100, sir.
Yes, you can understand here, right. Temp is pointing to the node which is present at the location 200. Now temp next is 100. Is it equal to null?
No, sir.
No,
It is
sir.
not equal to null. Therefore the condition is true and the body of the loop is executed. Therefore temp is equal to temp next. Therefore what happens here is 100 is assigned to temp, right. Now the value 200 is overwritten with 100. When I override the value of this temp with 100, I make this temporary variable to point to the node which is present at the location 100. Now since it is a while loop, it will again go and check the condition. Now check temp next. What is the value of temp next?
Null, sir.
It is
Null,
null.
sir.
Null, sir.
Null not equal to null. Is it condition true or false?
False.
False.
False. Therefore the body of that while loop will not be executed. So it will come out of the while loop, and this time what I should do, right. See, the last node is pointed by a temporary pointer. Now what I should do, I should change the value of this last node. such that the node that is present at the 100 and the next part of this node should be pointed. I should make a pointer like this. So for this, what I have to do? I have to store the new node address inside the next part of the last node. That's it. So how can I access the address of the new node?
New node, sir.
It is present
Node,
inside
sir.
the new node. So I know how to access this part, the address part of the last node. That is done by making use of temp next. So when I write like this, temp next is equal to new node, what happens here is 400 is stored inside this temporary variable or next part of the temporary pointer. Right. So thereby I am creating a link here, and this is how you add a node at the end of the linked list. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Clear, sir.
Shall we add one more node at the end, or is it enough?
Yes, sir.
Right, we will do it, right. So again start the same thing. So you start a new node. Let us draw like this. Here I will draw. This is my new node, and allocate the memory for the new node. Assume that it is at 500, right, and let the data part be 20, and this is 20, and this is null. Up to here we are clear, right? Now I have made a temporary pointer, declared a temporary pointer, and I have assigned it to head. Therefore what is the value of head? It is 300, right? Therefore temp is also pointing to 300, that is, it is also pointing to the first node like this. Now I am using a while construct. While temp next not equal to null, here temp next is 200, it is not equal to null, it should execute the body. Therefore temp is equal to temp next. Therefore 300 is overwritten with 200. At this point what happens is the temp is made to point to the second node. Again it will execute the while loop. While temp next not equal to null, 100 is not equal to null, the condition is true, therefore temp is equal to temp next. Therefore 200 is overwritten with the temp next value, which is 100, right? Therefore it becomes 100. So when I write a statement like this, what happens is the temp is made to point to the next node like this. Now temp next is 400, not equal to null, therefore it will execute the body of the loop, therefore temp is equal to temp next. Therefore 100 is overwritten with 400. In this position the temp is made to point to this node. Now temp next is equal to null, so I am making a pointer, temporary pointer, to point to the last node, and I am ready with this new node with this 500 stored inside this NN. Right. Now I change the next part of the last node with the address of the new node. So I know that the new node address is present inside 500 or new node. So I make it the statement like temp next is equal to new node. So it becomes 500. When I change this pointer, this is how the pointer is going to change. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
So now we will move to the other part, that is insertion in the middle. Right. You know how to insert a node at the end, right? So you should always check for temp next is equal to null, and then you have to make the necessary modifications to the pointers. But inserting a new node in the middle requires an input from the user. What is that input? You should prompt the user to enter the position. Right. We will continue with the previous one only. How many nodes are there? How many nodes are there with the previous one?
5, sir.
5.
5, sir.
right? This is 300, this is 200, this is 100, and this is 400, and this is 500, right? This is 4, this is 8, this is 12, this is 16, and this is 20, right? And it is 200, this is 100, this is 400, and this is 500, right? See here, the point here is you are going to insert a new node at the middle, it's not the middle, at the required position, right? So whenever you want to insert a new node at the required position, you should prompt the user to enter the position value. For example, if the user enters the position value as 3, the meaning here is, the meaning of this position is equal to 3 means you write a program in such a way that you insert a new node as the third node of the already existing linked list, right? So where I have to insert, if this is position is 3, so
After second node, sir.
after second node, that means in between this 200 and 400, is it right or not?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Right. So let us look at the concept of inserting a new node. The first few points are common, right? We know that you need to create a new node and you have to allocate the memory and you have to change the data part. Let this data part now be 24, not 4. Right. Up to here you are clear, right? So what
Yes, sir.
happened here is,
Yes,
this
sir.
is a new node, and assume that the new node base address is 600 and the new node pointer stores the 600. Therefore I have a pointer like this, and what is the data part of this new node? It is 24. And what is the next part? I am not initializing it to null. Even though you initialize it to null, nothing is wrong, right? After that you are going to modify it, but you should, the point here you have to remember is, there is a disadvantage with this initialization to null, right? 1 minute, let me.
You are now muted. You are now unmuted.
Can you hear my voice?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I have added the data to the new node and I am just leaving the new node next part as a blank, right? Now what I should do, when I want to insert a new node as the third element, I want to insert it at the position 3, I should have a pointer. That means I have to make the modifications to which next part of which node? Is my question clear?
Second node, sir.
Yes. So when I want to insert a new node in the middle or at a required position, you should have a pointer pointing to the previous node. So my position is 3. I want to insert the new node at position 3. So I should have a pointer for the node 2, second node. For example, if my position value is 6, so I should have a pointer to which node?
Fifth one.
Fifth one.
Fifth node. So this is the concept you have to understand. So listen carefully. Again the concept remains the same. Whenever you want to make a pointer to any node inside the linked list, you should always start with the head node only. But as a important point that you should remember in singly linked list, the head pointer should not be changed. So for that purpose I have to create a temporary pointer. Therefore I have created a temporary pointer like this, and I am assigning the value of head to temp. So it becomes 300. So again the head and temp are both pointing to the node which is created at location 300. Up to this you are clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now I have to move this temporary pointer to point to the second node. That means I have to iterate how many times?
2 times.
Two
Two
times
times.
I have to iterate. That means I have to iterate up to position -1. Is it right or not?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right, this is the logic you should understand. Either you have to iterate up to position minus 1, or you can make use of this statement also, I less than position. Less than position means you will check up to 2 only, right? And you should observe here one point, that you are going to start the I with 1. In general, we have a blind concept that the for loop iterative variable always starts with 0. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, this is the concept we know, right? But that is useful for the concept of arrays. Why? Because the array index always starts with 0, and whenever you want to print or do some operation on the arrays, since the array index starts with 0, you are customized, or you are practiced to make the I variable to be assigned or initialized to 0. But here you should not initialize it to 0, right? So why? Because this is the first node, therefore I should always start with I is equal to 1. It is not a mistake that if you initialize it with I is equal to 0, then you cannot write. That is not the answer, right? Even though you initialize I is equal to 0, you can make necessary modifications in this condition such that it will iterate for position minus 1 time. Here it is 2 times. For example, I want to insert the node at the 6th node. I have to make how many iterations? 5 iterations I have to make. So if you take I is equal to 0, I write it as I less than position minus 1. That's it, right? But it becomes complex, right? So for this purpose, what I am doing is I am initializing the value of I to 1 less than position. What is the value of position I have?
3, sir.
3. So 1 less than 3, is it true or false?
True, sir.
True, sir.
True, right? So it will execute the body of this for loop from here to this point. So in the body of the for loop, what I have written is I am checking the condition. If temp next not equal to null. What is temp next here?
300.
Temp next temp
200, sir.
200, right? Since temp next not equal to null, I have to make the pointer, temporary pointer, to move to the next node. That is the point temp is equal to temp next. So this condition is true. Temp next is 200, which is not equal to null. Since the condition is true, it will execute the body of the if saying that temp is equal to temp next. Therefore this 300 is overwritten with 200. So when I make this change, what happens is this temporary pointer is made to point to the node which is created at location 200. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes, sir.
I will be incremented. What is the value of I now? Previously it is 1, now it is I plus plus, it becomes 2.
2.
2 less than 3, is it true or false?
True, sir.
True, sir.
True, right? So if temp next not equal to null, is it true or false?
True, sir.
True, sir.
I think there is a mistake here. Right. So if temp next not equal to null, that means 100 not equal to null, temp is equal to temp next. So what happens here? It becomes 100. Right. So at this position, what happened is the temp is going to point to this location, which is not the correct program, right? So what is the modification can I make here?
Minus 1, sir.
What is that one?
I less than position minus 1.
Yeah, I can make it as I less than position minus 1. Therefore, when I
Sir,
is
simply
చెప్పు
while loop వేసుకుంటాం best కదా sir.
anything you can use, but the thing is that you have to, as I told in the class, that you can make use of any looping construct, or you can convert the program that is written using one looping construct to other looping construct also. It is perfectly valid. Whichever is convenient for you, you can do it, right? But you should check all these conditions. Even though you write using the while loop, you will be having the same condition only. But this initialization part goes out of the while body and this increment part goes inside the while body, that's it, nothing more than that. Right. But the condition I less than position minus 1 is similar. Is it right or not?
Yes,
Sir.
sir.
Right. So if I less than position minus 1, now my value is 2, position is 3, 3 minus 1 2, 2 less than 2, is it condition true or false?
False, sir.
False, right. So this is how my point is. So when this condition becomes false, it will come out of this for loop and it starts executing. This part is very important, right. I have a pointer to the second node. Now I have to adjust these pointers, right. See here, and again the sequence of these two statements should not be changed. The sequence of these two statements should not be changed. The first statement is you have to make the new node next point to this location, and then you have to change. This is the first action you have to perform. Let me erase this, you will get confused. So this is the first action, that means I have to make the next part of the new node to point to the third node of the previous linked list, and then I have to make the second node next part to point to this new node. This is the second action. Can I access the address part of the third node, previous third node? What is the address part of previous third node?
100, sir.
100. Can I access this 100? Where it is located?
Temp next, sir.
Yes, that is nothing but it is the address of the third node is
Previous.
present in the next part of the second node. Is it right or not? Previous node.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can access the address of this third node, that is 100 can be accessed by this second node next part. I have a pointer to the second node. So how can I access this next part? That is nothing but temp next. Right. So the first action, let us look at the first action. The first action is you have to link the new node to the third node. Right. So how can I access the next part of the new node? By using new node arrow next, and I am assigning it to temp next. What is the value of temp next here? What is the value of temp next?
100, sir.
100. So I am assigning a value of 100 like this. So when I assign the address of 100 like this, what happens is a link is created to this node. Now the second action is you have to make the second node next part to point to the address of the new node. So how can I access the address of the new node? It is present
New
inside
node next,
NN,
sir.
right. How can I access this second node next part? By using temp next. So temp next I am modifying it with the new node value. So what is the value of new node? It is 600. Therefore this part, instead of 100, what happens here is it is overwritten with 600. When I write this, when I overwrite the address of the second node with the new node, I made this node to point to this new node. Now this link is broken. Now you can see here, after 12, 8, and after 8 we have this 24 node where I have inserted the new node at the third position. So after 24 we have 4, 16 and 20. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall we insert one more node in the middle?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what is the position
Yes,
you want
sir.
to insert.
5th position.
Okay, 5th position. So in order to insert the new node at the 5th position, my temporary pointer should be pointing to which location or which node?
4th one.
Fourth
Fourth
node.
one.
That means you have to have a pointer to the previous node, right? Let us create a new node here. Assume that the base address is 700 and the new node address is stored inside the new node pointer. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now let us assume that the data is somewhere 28. Right. Now start this for loop, and it's not the for loop, you have to start the temporary pointer. So declare a temporary pointer and initialize it with the head. Therefore, what is the value of this temporary?
300.
It is 300. Right. Therefore, it is pointing to this location. Now I enter into the for loop. For I is equal to 1, I less than position minus 1. What is position minus 1?
4, sir.
It is 4. 1 less than 4, is it true or false?
True, sir.
True. Now if temp next is not equal to null, temp next is 200, which is not equal to null, therefore I move to the next node by making use of this statement, temp is equal to temp next. Therefore the temp value becomes 200.
200.
Therefore my temp is pointing to this location. Again I increment the temporary pointer, I value, it becomes 2. 2 less than position minus 1, is it true or false?
True, sir.
True, sir.
Then I check the address part of that node. If temp next not equal to null, temp next is 600, it is not equal to null. Therefore I move it to I move the temporary pointer to the next node, that is by making use of temp is equal to temp next. So here 200 will be overwritten with 600.
600.
Now my temporary pointer is pointing to this location. Again I is incremented, I becomes 3. 3 less than 4, condition true or false?
True, sir.
True. Again I check the next part of this temporary pointer. So the next part of the temporary pointer is 100, which is not equal to null, therefore the condition becomes true, and then the temp is made to point to the next node by making use of temp is equal to temp next. So here the 600 will be overwritten with 100. So when I override this 600 with 100, I am making the pointer, temporary pointer, to point to the node which is created at node 100. Right. Now the I value will be incremented. 4 less than 4, is this condition true or false?
False, sir.
False. Therefore you come out of the loop and then you execute, you make the modifications to the pointers. So the new node next part should be pointed to this 400, where I can access this 400 with the temp next. So new node next is equal to temp next, so it becomes 400. When I make the 400 value to the next part of the new node, I am creating a pointer from the new node to the node which is already present at 400. Now I should change the address part of the fourth node which is having 400, it should be overwritten with the address part of the new node which is 700, right? That is done by making use of temp next is equal to new node. Therefore the temp next, which is 400, is overwritten with 700. When I make these modifications, I am creating a pointer from this node to the new node like this, and this link is broken. So this is how you will insert a new node at a required position given by the user. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
So how many nodes are there at this position?
7, sir.
7. Right. So we will continue with the remaining part, that is the deletion part, and I will give you some idea on how to search the elements inside the singly linked list, and we will see how to count the number of nodes, and we will see the traversal part also in tomorrow's class, right? And do we have class tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in tomorrow's class we will discuss the deletion, searching and counting, and if time permits we will also go and discuss the programming part related to stacks and queues using linked lists. Right. Is it clear up to this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is end of today's session. Thank you one and all.